Hello, ladies and gentlemen. How are you doing? It's good to see y'all. Let's see. So there's already folks in the chat. All right, there. Looks like that went live. And I'm going to mute it. All right. How's everybody doing tonight? We got Quadrophenia. We got Merrick Kosiak. My apologies for mispronouncing your name, my good friend.
It's Marek.
All right. Can y'all hear me all right?
Yeah, I hear you.
Ah, shoot. That's stupid. You know what? The audio on Macs really leaves a lot to be desired sometimes. Give me 1 second. I need to put the output in. There we go. All right. How are y'all doing?
Yeah, I'm fine. Thank you for asking.
All right. So we've got Quadrophenia and we've got Merrick. And so, folks, the way this is going to go, yeah, thanks, Kevin. Thank you. So the way this is going to go is you guys can click the link. I'll drop it periodically. And you guys, we're going to talk. I mean, why not? Let's do it. So Quadrophenia and Merrick. Oh, we got Mance, who's Jeremy. By the way, we can have up to 6 people in the stream at one time.
Hey.
Let's see. Someone is very loud. All right.
Luna.
So, who has the child? Is that you, Mance?
Good. Good.
Yeah, and the Rottweiler being loud, so I apologize on both
No
counts.
worries, man. Hey, listen, it's how many? All right, so let's try to avoid the C word and the P word, but we can talk about the virus. Are y'all hunkered down for the virus?
Yeah, I'm very scared about it.
Where are you, Merrick? Or am I saying your name right?
Yeah.
Where are you?
I'm living in UK.
UK. Okay.
Yeah,
And-
it's quite late for me, but I wait for your stream, you know. I love your
Yeah,
show.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it.
That's why I'm waiting for you.
I appreciate it, man. What time is it there?
It's 1 o'clock in the night.
Okay. So, well, dude, thank you for waiting. Quadrophenia, we are seeing you speak, but not hearing you. Now, Mance, Jeremy, where are you from?
Georgia.
Georgia. Okay. So, and then Mr. Quadrophenia, how you doing, buddy? We still can't hear you. It's funny because I see you as upside down, but it looks like on the chat you're actually right side up. So you're good. All right. So how's everybody hunkered down?
Yeah, I prepare myself for staying home. I buy some cans, you know, soups and things like that.
Yeah.
Who knows what's gonna happen? You know, here in UK it's like a little bit difficult because some schools are closed, some factories are closed.
Yeah.
You know, and it's better to be prepared. I don't know what's gonna happen.
That is true. I know for us, and Jeremy, maybe you're the same way. We've been preparing like it's a hurricane. Just kind of.
Yeah, it was a little crazy with everybody running to the store, but we mostly
God.
recovered from the Idiot Brigade. But we had our first case here in town, and it was actually a healthcare provider at a med stop. So
Okay.
that could be bad.
So I have officially been exposed. I'm actually in quarantine right now. So this is like a shed that is off the side of the house, and so I'm basically living in it right now. It's fun. It's like a lot like a extended glamping trip, if you will. I mean, I've got AC, I've got a bed, I have facilities, if you will, and I've got a computer.
Make it sound like you have a bucket in the corner.
I do. We lost Quadrophenia. What's wrong, man? Yeah, no, I have a bucket in the corner. 100%.
The wife just
Now, all
threw you
right.
food.
So here's how you know that you have really good friends, because without getting too graphic, it is uncomfortable to sit on a bucket and do your business. And my buddy, who is a contractor, he messaged me. He was like, "Hey, do you have a seat? And all of a sudden he showed up with a seat. And I've never been so happy to see a seat in my entire life. It's like,
That's amazing.
it is truly amazing. All right. I added Quadrophenia.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you now.
I'll be right
I'll
back.
just leave the video up.
Kid to bed.
Yeah.
I'll just leave the video up then, because maybe that was the issue.
Yeah, that's fine. You guys can just chat. We may boot Jeremy, but we'll see. He had to go off. I think we can hold 6 in the chat at one time. So here's the deal. Y'all click the link. Just come on in and we'll just chat. I mean, we'll have a good time. Mediocre, the shower is in fact a spigot on the back of my house. And let's just say that I have intents to do the full Monty tonight when it's very late and no one can see me. Because quite frankly, no one wants to see this. So I understand that I have a nice
remodeling or something.
No. So we've got so like the basic gist is that my the floor that I work on, 2 people tested positive for the virus.
Gotcha.
So we share common spaces with them. And hey Butcher, I'm trying, man. I'm trying. I can't do it. So here's the deal. Butcher FPV gets on and he rags me because I say So whenever he gets on, I have to talk well. My diction has to be great. My diction has to be erudite. So we have a couple kids that are at risk, if you will. One has asthma, the other has another condition, and so they're possibly already exposed. Just in case they're not, I'm sticking out here until we realize, what happens for whether or not I test positive. And I was able to get in a test on Tuesday. They ran out of tests on Wednesday, but I won't hear anything until Saturday or Sunday at the earliest. So we'll see. It's very interesting. But anyways, all right. So enough about me. Jeremy, you are in Georgia, and tell me what you fly. Oh, we lost you. He's doing the mouth.
Let's try that.
There you are. There you go. I thought you were
trying to bounce it around to get it on this mic, and it's not.
Yeah, I thought you were kung fu talking for a minute. So where are you? And you're in Georgia?
Yeah.
So 2 questions for you. What do you fly? And do you fly fields, trees, or buildings?
I currently have a Acrobrat 3-inch. That's an absolute blast to fly. Mainly I do that because I am a cheap bastard and can't afford a GoPro until I sell my house.
It's almost like you're a dad.
Yeah, which that's a whole separate conversation to have.
Oh yeah, okay. We can get into it or not if you want. But
no, it's I met this wonderful lady behind me for a couple of years ago now, and just moved in about a year and a half ago.
Very cool.
And so jumped straight into going from full bachelor to and being able to spend money on stupid stuff to not being able to do that because I have a 13-year-old and a soon-to-be 11-year-old.
Yeah.
So,
but
this Brat's a blast. I love it. It is an absolute beater. You can throw it into walls and it just doesn't care. And that happens a lot.
All right. How long have you been flying?
Probably about a year now. I think maybe a little over. I started with one of the original Tiny Hawks, and flew that around till I had to replace the camera twice and the frame. The frame a couple times, and then decided I wanted to go up. And I got one of the Tyro 79, the little cheapos, and flew it around. And then I liked that smaller form factor. And I knew I was going to be traveling to Scotland, so I wanted to take something a little easier to get overseas. And the 850 milliamp batteries are a little smaller, a little lighter.
Yep.
So I went that route, and it's been a great little contraption.
I will say we have not flown the micros under 3-inch ever. And my son decided he wanted one for Christmas, and now we have 3. So
the small child you saw earlier is asking if she can if I can take her out and she can fly my tiny hawk tomorrow, and I'm like,
yeah.
How about we get in the sim first, and then you can fly.
That's definitely. We're joined by Matty Blunts. Hello, Mr. Matty.
Hey, how you doing?
Hello,
Doing
Mr.
well.
Matty.
Let me get somewhere else.
There you go, man. You got good. We had good light. So all right. So I'm gonna talk to Merrick for a second because it's 1 a.m. his time, and that is late. So Merrick, what do you fly? Where do you fly? And do you prefer trees, buildings, or fields?
I fly usually 5 inches. I got plenty of those. I know that your first squad was from Neato. I'm a big fan of that company. It's very shame they closed the business, but I still got a couple of frames of that. I got Dallas, I got Neckbreaker, and I got Talon.
Very
my
nice.
best squads.
Yep.
But usually I fly in the parks, and usually I prefer trees and maybe not open fields because they are very, very boring. I can say.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't fly in the concretes because they are not forgiving from the quads.
Yeah.
I destroy a couple of them.
Yeah. We went flying at an office complex the other day, and I have a GoPro Session 5 that has been with me for 3 years now, and unfortunately it did not make it past that session. So it was a real bummer.
Yeah, again, why I like the 3-inch, because I can't fit a GoPro on it.
Right, yeah.
My friend.
Yes, sir.
One of my friend got that small Armatan gecko, and he fly with GoPro on it.
Mm-hmm.
Normal for him.
An Armatan gecko, and he put a GoPro on it. What kind of?
Yeah. This is a surprise for me as well. But he got some beefy motors over there. I think 1507. But that tiny little thing, I tell you, it's a blast with GoPro. It's a blast.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. I can totally see the micro thing becoming my main. Well, I love the inertia of the 5 inches because like you can toss them over trees and they just keep moving. I've definitely done some tree, split S's over trees and stuff like that with the micros. It's a different experience, but yeah, it's a lot of fun.
The micros, they are reacting on the wind a little bit different.
Yes, they do.
Because little bit of wind, and you're thinking you are flying with 5 inches, and suddenly it's like little bit wind, and you are not flying 5 inches anymore. You end the arm.
Yeah, for sure. So, Maddie, is that your artwork behind you?
It is.
Dude, let's see it.
Okay,
and Quad,
so
we will definitely get to you, I promise.
Okay.
Holy cow, man. That's
no,
awesome.
These are like acrylic paintings I was doing some years ago. I was really active as a live painter. I was going to like concerts and festivals and doing these big acrylic pieces. I was like kind of like auctioning them off at the end of shows and stuff like that to support myself.
Yeah.
And, I do like prints of them sometimes, when people want them.
Dude, that's really cool.
Here's another one.
That's awesome. That's very cool. I am a visual idiot. 100%. I do not like the visual stuff. Just like I can frame a picture and I understand how to work video and things like that. But when it comes to drawing or like trying to Photoshop something, nope, not at all. Not at all.
Well, I went to school for, I was traditionally trained in animation. I don't do much of that now, but a lot of the skills I learned as like, especially from like character development, I use those a lot in my drawings and paintings.
Yeah, that's great. That's great work right there. Now, what do you fly?
I have been working on a bunch of stuff. I'd say about 30% of my current fleet is BQE frames.
Okay.
I did the artwork for the Pickpocket micro that's out right now.
Mm-hmm.
If you get a pickpocket, you'll get a sticker with my artwork on it.
Nice.
I always like kind of just fly whatever I catches my fancy. I like to try new stuff. I'm not afraid to jump on a hype train and try some shit. A lot of the guys stick with like A-frame and build a million of them. There you go. And I like to experiment. You know, I built the Racer X's ET5 recently.
Nice.
Let me show you one of those. And then, you know, I'm working on a bunch of stuff. This is my.
That's
see
cool.
if I can get it. This is the
So,
ET5.
so that actually is that a 5-inch?
It's a 5-inch, yeah.
Wow, that thing's tiny for a 5-inch.
It's tiny. It's sub 250 if you put a 4S pack on it, but I'm ripping it on 6S. It works out to about 260, 270 grams, depending on how big of a 6S I put on it. It's 2,500 kV, 1606 motors, and
on 6S.
Yeah.
I like all the KV. Unfortunately, every time I full throttle, it creates a break in the space-time continuum. So,
what KV should I be at for 6S on a
1800?
On a 1600 motor.
Well, hold on now. The motor size the stator size is smaller. So
yeah, it's 1606. So I don't know what. I don't really know the math on a 5-inch 1606.
I mean, I know you can definitely. I mean, so here's the deal. I'm not speaking as an expert. You can fly a 2450 on 6S. The problem is that you ultimately end up running the risk of burning out your electronics, basically. Now, on an 1806, it's probably not going to pull anywhere near as many amps, and so I would imagine you can probably get away with it a lot more easily.
Well, I have a 5S pack I was going to try in it too. I mean, I actually was beta testing this crazy all-in-one that Beta FPV put out. It's a 35 amp, 32-bit all-in-one board, and a bunch of people who beta tested it was like, yeah, that thing just fried as soon as I put it in the air. I got about 3 packs out of it, and it just like fell out of the air. It didn't like burn up or anything, but it just like, I went to do like a flip over some trees, and it was just like, nope.
Yeah.
Was that a one of those Whoop boards, all-in-one boards?
Yeah, it was. You know, they have those 20 amp ones that have been pretty stable, but they were beta testing some 35 amp, 32-bit ones, and they just crammed everything into those. And they're like, here, we sent some out for free. Here's some that are $60. There's 30 of those. I grabbed one of those, and they're like, here, just like test it out. And like,
yeah, I wanted to get my hands on that.
Yeah, it lasted me 3 packs. They gave me my money back. So
it might work if you had like a 40-gram heat sink just all the way across the back of the board. But
yeah,
but then that breaks that breaks the legality aspect of it. So,
but you need a space heater.
Yeah.
Right. What kind of propellers you got on that 5-inch? What you showed?
Okay, so there's only one T mount. T Motor makes the one T mount 5-inch prop that there is available now, and it's a T Motor.
What's the pitch?
Or no, it's not T Motor. I'm sorry. It's HQ, and it's 3. The pitch is 3.
Okay.
And it's a bi-blade, and that's the only one that's available right now. They also make a T-mount bi-blade that's 4-inch, but I don't know if they're the only ones who make that one. But I'm running both of those.
1606 motors on it?
16, yeah, it's an Airblade 1606 Superman, they're calling them.
Because Emax makes the RS 1606. That's what I've got on my
yeah, I saw those.
My Acrobat.
Yeah, those are not T-mount. Those are just regular.
Right. So you'd have a wider array. You could actually get a tri-blade prop on it.
Yeah, that's right. That's like kind of the toss-up of. I was struggling with that. I was like, well, they have this out, but if I go 5-inch, I only have one prop to choose from. Yeah,
no, I like the Emax motors. They've been. I mean, I have broken a frame and just beat these things up all around the world. And I think I've got one bearing that's going out in the set, so I can't complain.
I just put this Flynoceros Skull V2 back together. I wrecked it at IO last year, and we needed an arm into it, and I just was being lazy about getting the replacement arm in their warranty, and they hooked me up, and I just painted it up and rebuilt it. All new stuff on it.
Looks awesome.
So Quadrophenia, dude, I've seen you in so many live streams. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right.
Are you? Where are you?
Hey, yeah.
Hey guys, thanks for having me on. I'm gonna jump off here and and watch.
I appreciate it, buddy.
Yeah, take care.
Take care.
Take care too.
All right, let's see. We're moving
Yeah.
J-Box.
By the way, I did get Jake his frame. He
You
was
got
not
what?
doing very well this morning.
You did what now?
I got. I shipped Jake a frame. From last
Oh,
night's
that's right.
infamous stream.
Oh my god. Okay. Did
Yep,
y'all
yep.
see? I don't. Is Jake in the chat? Did anybody watch Quad Chat with Jake and Kat last night? Did anybody see that at all? They did a hot wing chat. Okay. I'm sorry. This was the best live stream you'll ever see. Like, you need to go back. If you're a sympathetic vomiter, you should not watch it. But they did a hot wing challenge, and Jake ate. Jake guzzled a bunch of hot sauce, and eventually, I think the final count was something like 30 vomits.
Oh my god.
Oh,
And
yeah.
he just,
Yeah,
and
it
he
was pretty
just kept,
ridiculous.
he just kept going. And it was, I mean, like, literally, his face was unholy shades of colors, right? Like,
Oh my
Can you
god.
guys hear Michael? I can't hear him.
you can't hear me? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I
can hear
hear you.
Okay, J-Box, we'll sort you out in just a sec. Yeah. So, Quad, what do you fly and where do you fly?
All right, I'm up in. Here, I can show you actually.
Like check.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm up in Wisconsin. Oh yeah, no, I actually had it right before. I'm up in the Long Lake, Michigan. So yeah, I fly a lot of snow. Mostly parks,
You got a lot of
Field.
stuff.
Yeah.
schools. Oh yeah. So like what I fly. I mean, I know I love reverbs.
Mm-hmm.
This one is hard to get. It's what the hell is that? I got it for Pyro Flip. I don't think they make the 5-inch anymore. I think 5.5. And
Is
then
that like
6
the
and
Glide
7.
or something?
It's similar to a Glide, but Harrell. It's his frame. Mini quad test bench. Oh,
Okay.
the Crush. There you go. Crush Light.
Okay.
Yeah,
Very cool.
it's a tight build, but man, do I love it. Flies awesome. And acrobats. I'm with Maddie. I mean, I don't think I have two frames that are alike.
Yeah, I don't know. I settled on the MQC Fusion and then decided to stick with it. All right, so I'm going to Merrick and Jeremy. Do y'all mind if I move you out? I'll move you back into the chat, and we'll
All
move
right.
in. We'll move
Yeah,
in
no
some
problem.
folks that are waiting. Thank you for coming in. That was awesome.
Thank you.
Now I got to figure out how
Sure.
to boot you. Let's see. Kick from studio. Yes. Goodbye, Merrick. Goodbye, Jeremy. Thank you for joining. And we're bringing in Mr. Kyle Pugh. So
This is my
Quadrophenia.
next build. This is my next build. It's the graffiti with the little skate wheels.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fiddly as hell build, but it's solid. It's got like 8-inch turns. It's be interesting.
That's
But
awesome.
anyway,
Yeah.
yeah, looking
All
forward
right.
to it.
So I'm gonna ask my good friend from the south here, Roll Pitch Y'all, which is maybe one of the best FPV names ever. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well. Got a ton of projects, which is great because of all of my friends that I know, I feel like I'm the most at ease at staying at home in quarantine.
Right? Because you can just step out in your yard and fly. So what do you fly, Mr. Y'all?
So I've got, this is my beater,
Okay.
Mechanical Million. I'm running 4S on that, 2450 kV motors.
Okay.
With the R9 system from FR Sky.
Okay.
And
There's
then
not a lot of those running around.
Then I've got a 7-inch build. And this thing is
Nice.
insane. It flies like the Racer 4 in DRL,
Mhm.
which is super fun, but then you can get long range out of it and super long flight times.
That's awesome.
While still getting a ton of power to weight ratio.
That's cool, man.
What
and
motors are you using with your, what did you say, 2450, 2550?
They're 2207, 2450 kV blaster motors from Hype Train.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you run those on 5S, and you'll get a little extra boost. Plus, some down low is awesome.
Yeah, I've done that once, and it gets some punch in there, but I only have one 5S, so it's just doesn't make sense to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, gotcha.
All right, so here I have a question for the panel. Anybody can feel free to jump in. Do y'all prefer a wider stator with a more aggressive pitch, or a smaller, like a 2306 with a 45-degree pitch, or do you prefer like a 2207 with a lighter pitch, like an S3 or an S4?
I like the lighter prop.
The lighter prop?
The lighter prop, so that'll be less pitch with a beefier motor.
With a beefier motor? Okay.
Yep, and then if you're a beta flight guy with the dynamic idle, you can get that thing to spin up so fast from a reverse airflow condition that it's just ridiculous.
So Cement Kid and Maddie Blunts in the chat are mentioning they like the wider stators more, and I used to think that way because I like the torque going towards the ground. So like you could, if you were flying real low, but I've since started flying the MB Primo 2207s. They're 2500 kV, and I love them paired with the S3 props. It feels so good flying.
Yeah, and then I also up the kV a little bit. Not the kV, the voltage on the power source. So 5S basically.
Yeah. I'm still stuck in 4S, so I'm in the dinosaur ages. J-Box, can you hear me?
Nothing wrong with 4S. Nothing at all wrong with 4S.
Oh no, definitely not. J-Box, can you hear me, buddy? I don't think. Can y'all talk to J-Box?
Hey, J-Box, can you hear? I can hear you guys, but I can't hear Michael.
Hey, why don't you tell him to he can't hear me. I'm talking to him like he can hear me. So tell him to leave the stream and come back in, and I'll pop him right back in.
Hey, J-Box, leave the stream and then come back in, and Mike will pop you back in.
We'll see if that works. All right. Above Ground, how are you doing, buddy?
Doing good. How are you?
Doing all right, man. Where are you from? You got a little bit of the southern twang there.
Originally, I'm actually from Rockford, Illinois, but now I'm living down in Knoxville, Tennessee.
So how long did the accent take to creep in to your dialect?
Honestly, it didn't take that long. It probably only took about 6 months, and then being around everybody, the accent sort of comes and goes.
Yep. Do you do like when you get back towards family, do you do the thing where you talk, Midwestern, and then you get back down south and end up talking with the twang?
So when it's really weird. So when I go back up north, people tell me that I sound Southern.
Yep.
And then when I come back, it's more of just like a neutral. Some words are Southern. Some sayings that I say now are more Southern.
Like you said, but like you pronounced "vil" correctly, which was "vol."
Yes, anything that ends in "vil" down here is "vol."
Vol.
So
I feel like I need to. So I spent did some time in Greenville, North Carolina. And if you are from the South, then you have to conjugate your vowels, right? So if you have a vowel, then if you say y'all, there's actually a y in the middle of the I. So it's y'all.
Yeah.
And it is literally, it is the most insidious. It's not like you go to England and start talking like a Brit, right?
Oh yeah, no, not at all.
You get to the South and all of a sudden your mouth just gets a little bit lazy and you just kind of start talking like this. And
we've got a city right next to us called it's spelled Maryville, but that is not the way that you pronounce it. The way that you pronounce it is take out all of the vowels and some more letters and Merville. I'm like, if you want to know how to say it, spell it MRVL. Yeah. There you go.
Where are you from? I'm from Merville.
Pretty much.
How exactly do you spell that?
Yep.
So J-Box, can you hear me now?
I lived down there in North Carolina, South Carolina during military days, and I could not shake the Midwest accent. I never could pick up a Southern accent.
Yeah, you know what? We moved all up and down the Eastern Seaboard. We settled in Greenville when I was in 8th grade, and I walked into a K through 8 school with 50 people in the 8th grade wearing a Metallica shirt in all black, and I did not fit in, as I'm sure you can imagine. So, of course, when people in that school, when they wanted to date, they had to like check their lineage. So it was interesting.
It's about right.
Yeah. So J-Box, how you doing, buddy? Is he frozen? Can he hear me and not hear me again?
I'm not
I think he's frozen. Okay, well, we'll let J-Box be a robot for a little bit.
Hey, above ground, are you? Is that where JB lives too? Hardwell.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Do you race with him?
I can barely hear you guys. Not much. Is that a little bit better?
Yeah, I think J-Box is having some connectivity issues or something. I'm not sure.
Also, my beard gets in the way a little bit. I haven't really raced with him much. Let's see. It was either last year or the year before that had the firecracker race out at his house. I'm more of a freestyler, so pretty much I just show up to the park and hit gates, both literally and figuratively. But so I've gone out to his house for that, and then we had a whoop race here in Knoxville that a whole bunch of people came to. We were only expecting 30 people to start off with, and then it ended up becoming like 60 people at a restaurant in a massive whoop race. So he came out to that. And then I actually rode halfway up to DC with him and then finished out the rest of the trip with another one of our local guys.
Cool. Very cool. So let's see. Kyle, Mr. Pugh, how are you doing, buddy?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing all right. We don't get to see your fantastic background.
No, I don't want to advertise our show on yours.
You can, dude, advertise away. I don't give a damn.
I don't think I have any other ones that don't have our Quadaholic symbol on.
We'll put it up there, man. We're just here to chat. There you go. I like it. The hazmat suits. Yes. So, in case y'all don't know, Kyle and Jake of the infamous 30 Vomits, which we really think he should be named Vomit FPV now instead of Why Wouldn't Ya?
I didn't watch it last night.
Oh my God.
I saw him this morning, and
how was he?
He did not look healthy.
Oh, dude, he was, look, at one point he got up to the screen and he's like, yo, look at my face. And he had a petechial rash because he'd been throwing up so hard that it had been breaking blood blisters. It had been breaking blood vessels in his face.
That would explain why his face was so red.
Yeah, we were all rolling. We were laughing, and every time he would start to tap out, Kat would be like, "Jake, are you gonna bitch out now?" And so Jake would double down, right? But it vomit 25. We all started to actually get concerned. It's like, Okay, dude.
Time to quit.
Yeah, I think maybe Jake. No, probably not a good idea to do this anymore. So
I was gonna screw with you and put my name as either Chad Capper or Jake Blackburn on here just for fun.
oh, that would have been fun. I probably would have figured you out pretty quickly. So all right. So Kyle, tell us what you fly and where you fly.
I fly drones and I
You
fly
fly
in
drones.
Montana.
Okay, in
I have
Montana.
Tons of different drones. I've got 5, 6, 6S, 4S, 3-inch, 2.5-inch toothpicks, whoops, you name it. I haven't gotten into any of the big ones yet, though. I noticed everybody's starting to get into getting 7-inch, 8-inch, 10-inch. I don't have one of those yet.
Yeah, I find that I have to like periodically, like a lot of the folks that I work with know that I do drones, and so I'll periodically like post something in the random chat, be like, hey, yeah, this is what I did the other day, and they're like, oh man, like one guy today goes, can that carry a beer? And I was like, nah, but my 5-inch can. And all of a sudden I'm like, I wonder how that comes across. Does that make it in translation, y'all? Am I going to get taken up by HR here?
I got to ask you the other day when you did that live video and I started throwing you the you look like I got you there. Did I get you?
Oh, dude, you got me. And I tried to keep it on point since then. So, you know what? Here's the thing. All right. This is the thing y'all got to understand. Kyle has been trolling me with the stuff, right? But
no, I don't troll you. I hit you up on a live, and then I sent you a message on it one time.
Right. No, well, I mean, but you've made multiple comments about it, and it's criticism, and it's valid criticism, and it's there to make me better, right?
Yeah, we had a discussion one night about it.
Yeah, and so it's really interesting to me. A lot of people, when somebody comes in, they're like, "Well, I don't think you should do this," and they kind of get butthurt, right? Like it's just.
Oh yeah.
If somebody criticizes someone else, then people get upset, and it's like, no, like you guys gotta, and that's where a lot of the drama comes from, quite frankly. Unless I'm creating it, and at which point it is just, it just happens apparently. But let's see, hold on, let's kick Roll Pitch Y'all out. Oh, all right, maybe we can add him. Roll Pitch Y'all is apparently flying. Yeah. So, anyways, I appreciate it, Kyle. I really do.
Oh, and I totally get the criticism. I'm horrible about it. If somebody says something, I'll lose sleep over it.
Yeah.
It could be such a minute thing.
Yeah. And there's periodically times where it's just like, man, did I do something wrong? Like, am I a horrible person? Should I quit all this FPV stuff? So
I hope that wasn't over me.
No, I don't. I typically don't feel that way. I get that way about different things, but it definitely is interesting how people take criticism, how they see it. And hold on, I'm watching.
The Mr. plus side is when people give you criticism, you don't learn what you're doing unless you find out about it.
This is true.
It's the approach that people take sometimes that's inappropriate that can cause you.
That's true. And I think that a lot of times you've got to actually consider the intent in the person that's giving it to you. Because when you criticized me, I knew that like your intent was good. You were making me better. And there's a lot of folks out there though that like I get, I've been branching out, right? I'm getting creative. I'm trying to do funny things that are different, slow down the interviews a little bit because they're kind of boring to edit and do things that are more creative, right? And a few folks don't like it. And I'm like, okay, it's fine that you don't like it. And I'm happy that you commented, but it's my channel. I'm gonna do what I want. I could really get upset about that, and periodically I find myself I do get upset about it, where I'm just like, for a moment, it's like, okay, just take a deep breath, don't respond like an asshole, and just be okay. So,
you have to keep yourself interested too. If you can't keep yourself interested,
exactly, yeah. Double A, how you doing, buddy? We got BMS, we got BMS Web. I'm gonna drop the link in here again. All right. I'm
gonna bounce out.
Okay.
Hey,
and
yeah, I'm gonna jump off too. So, but I'll be listening.
Thank you for coming on, gentlemen. This was a blast.
Yeah,
good seeing you, Michael.
Good seeing you too.
Bye.
All right. Let's see. Do I need to remove y'all? All right. Kyle's gone. Quad's gone. All right. So just kind of telling folks how this is rolling. There's a chat, there's a link periodically through where if you would like to click on it, you can come join the panel, if you will. Jason, I saw you in there. Where'd you go, man? So Hoopty J, Jason Kennedy. He was in here just a second ago. But yeah, I mean, we don't have to keep it to FPV. We can talk about anything. It's up to y'all. J-Box, are you there? Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
How you doing, man?
Pretty good. This is kind of crazy, man. It's kind of cool.
It's definitely, I wanted to just kind of have a little, hey, y'all come in and talk to me. And it was, I don't know, it's fun. We need to get, Paul, you need to get in here, or Thomas. No, BMS Web is Paul. I don't think it's Thomas. But yeah, it's been, let's see. Hoopty J says, I can't play on cam. Wife is watching TV next to me. I'll try to pop in here for a few. Well, Hoopty J is bitching out, apparently. All right, so J-Box, talk to us, man. Are you and y'all? I know that I know your name. I've heard it somewhere. Tell me where I've heard about you from.
Justin Skinner, his interview. I was at the 16-year-old, 17-year-old he was talking about.
Were you the one that was just freaking killing it?
Relative to depends on who you're talking about.
So did you podium? Would be the best question to ask.
Fine. I podium pretty often sometimes. I
podium pretty often.
I get to practice with Alex Hanover and just like really fast guys.
Okay.
Like on the pretty regular. So
yeah,
you learn a lot pretty fast.
Yeah. All right, hold on. Jeremy and Jason, I muted y'all for just a second. There was a little bit of extra noise. So well, I'll unmute you very soon. So you race down, I guess you're in Dallas, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. And so what do you fly?
I'm currently flying the Alex Hanover motors with the Hobby Wing 40 amp ESC.
Nice.
With the Alex Hanover camera, the Radix Li right here, and then the Tiny Tank Rush VTX.
Okay.
And then Crossfire right there.
So I feel like there's it feels like all of a sudden we're circling around to a lot of people running the same thing. It's either it's Vanover motors and maybe a Evan Turner's frame and a certain type of pitch or a certain type of prop. I can't remember which one it is. And then the Hobby Wing, it's always the Hobby Wing 4-in-1, whatever amperage you choose. And then the Radix is becoming pretty popular too. Now, let me ask you a question. Do you fly those because you like them or because they've got names stamped on them?
Alex's motors?
Yeah. And the Hobby and that's a lot like his setup.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I actually used to fly his setup. I used to fly the Neutron. I was sponsored by Flight Club.
Gotcha.
The only reason why I'm flying these is because he was able to give me a good price on them, like an unofficial sponsored price, and then it helped me out, man.
It's not unofficial anymore.
You won't see this, hopefully. But he helped me out with some motors and ESCs, and then I actually prefer them over motors.
Okay.
The ESC compared to the Acon, I wasn't able to tell any difference. I probably put like 200 packs through the Acon 35 amp. No issues there. So far, no issues with the Hobby Wing. Didn't make me any faster besides just going to a lighter setup overall. So,
that's pretty awesome. And so, when are we going to see you on DRL?
Oof. Maybe once Alex retires, and who knows.
So, all right. So here's a real question for you: have you ever taken Alex in a single lap or a single race?
Have I ever beat him?
Yeah, just finished one lap ahead of him, or finished an entire race ahead of him.
Do you want the honest answer, or
I want the honest answer. And if it's one lap, I don't care.
Okay, maybe if he's crashed out, but
okay,
like if I'm at Camp Vanover and he crashes out with, because he's trying to get better with his 5-inch, but usually he laps me, and then then does the Alex Vanover scream saying "What's up?" But no, he's a good buddy of mine. He's pretty funny.
Yeah.
So
I like him a lot.
yeah.
All right, so Mr. Y'all, I'm gonna move you out so that we can get some more people in. But I appreciate you coming on.
Yeah,
And,
see you guys.
all right, buddy, you take it easy. All right, there we go. And we've got Mr. Abby coming in. Jason, I'm gonna unmute you.
I fixed the sound.
Okay, sounds good. Sounds good. So, all right. So, Jason, how you doing, man? I hear
Doing
that you're
well. How about yourself?
in the middle of a blizzard.
It is a blizzard here. Yes.
So
Northeast
Jason,
Colorado, 40-mile-an-hour
Jason,
wind.
you have built out. What? Remind me, it was the alien wood boards.
Yeah, I helped out Charlie early on with the alien board, just doing mostly support stuff on the back end for him and lots of testing and things like that. And flew a little bit in the winter Tiny Whip series is online for him and things like that. So
yeah, that and now you fly nothing because it's snowing outside.
Well, it's snowing outside, so I'm not flying anything right now. No, I've been flying lots of simulator. Well, not lots, little lately. So
yeah. Now, and I'm gonna out you. Jason also builds arcade machines, which is maybe the coolest thing ever. As a matter of fact, I'm half tempted to say, hey, I'm gonna buy one, but I can't afford it because I can't afford drones anyways. What does it cost to ship one of those to someone when they buy it?
About $200.
Okay.
Well, then I haul it down to the Fastenal, put it on a pallet, and then they have to go to their local Fastenal and pick it up. It's flat rate for like $200.
Yeah.
So that's not bad. I sold my pinball.
Yeah, I know you sold the pinball. You're sad about that, aren't you?
It was time to go.
Well, yeah, sometimes you got to let go. We can sing a sweet song for it.
It will fund some flying, hopefully.
All right, so Abby, how are you doing, buddy?
Pretty good.
Good. And by the way, all y'all that are here, just chat. Let's talk. Abby, you actually look familiar now that I can see you. Where do I know you from?
I don't think anywhere.
Anywhere? Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure.
Okay. What are you flying? How long have you been flying?
I've been flying for about 3.5 years, and right now, with this whole virus thing, all the parks around me are closed. So I've just been flying toothpicks in my backyard.
Okay.
Been having fun with that.
All right. Now, what region are you in?
I am just outside of New York. So.
Okay. Oh yeah, their New York is on strict lockdown.
Yes.
Now, all right. So I've got a question for everybody here. You all have to answer, including Jeremy, who's desperately trying to avoid trees. Who, if y'all could fly a 3-inch with a really nice HD setup or a 5-inch with an HD setup, which would you prefer?
Well, it depends. You buy
5-inch.
Just say money is no option.
Probably.
I'm gonna have to go
5-inch.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shrink it smaller.
Shrink it smaller.
Yeah.
So all right. What if we give you like a micro?
We need a solid HD system for a 2-inch.
Okay. Okay. Solid HD system for a 2-inch. All right.
And then there we go.
Yep.
Well, Tommy, when the HD stuff first came out, he printed that 4-inch Acrobat that I was very interested in. Just milled it in his garage, I guess.
You know, the problem with 4-inch is that there's just no props, as far as I know.
That's the biggest problem.
Yeah, and 4-inch. So actually, my first drone, the one that you can't see because I can't point to it, whatever, right here. It was a 4-inch, and all I could find were like Dahl 4-inch bullnose props, and then I was running 2800 kV motors on it. Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
And it just destroy a battery. So.
Oh yeah, it's a beast. Those props need 5-inch motors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. So Abby, what is there a specific frame you like?
Anything made by Armatan, I've been a fan of from day one. So
okay.
I'm not jumping on any hype trains, but
no, they're good.
Yeah.
They're good. They've got a real good warranty.
Mm-hmm.
And it's interesting. And I guess let's jump into this. I talked to Chris LaRue, and we talked a lot about cloning. And one of the things he said was that the what is it? What's the latest one?
The Marmot.
Is it the Marmot with
the
titanium frame?
Yeah, I think the Marmot or the Badger, they're pretty similar.
Yeah, he said that was the first frame he's ever built that the cloners are having a problem with.
Yeah.
So the question I have for y'all is, do you all commit to flying real stuff or cloned?
I fly real when I can.
Yeah, real.
What little I buy.
Okay. I do real.
Okay.
Way too cheap
that I bought, but I was just getting into the game.
Yeah, I really like supporting the boutique guys, but I don't care so much about the brand names. If I know the guy's name that I'm buying it from, I'm much happier, but I have no problem buying cheap crap otherwise.
Okay.
Yeah, I would agree with that as well.
Let's see.
Like some of my most favorite motors are the cheapest crap you could get at the time, which were the DYS ELF replacement motors.
Mm-hmm.
They were garbage for the ELF, but they were super great on an ultralight 2-inch.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I have on the toothpick. Those same motors.
Right.
All right. Yeah. Hey Jason, I'm gonna mute you for sound reasons, so I appreciate it, buddy. All right. Jeremy, thank you for coming in. I got a couple people waiting. I'm gonna move you back out. I appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
Y'all have fun.
You too. And all right, Mr. Above Ground, I'm also going to move you out. Thank you for coming on. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you. Let's see. Nurk, if you'd like to jump in, I'm sure people would love to talk to you. And we've got
that'd be awesome.
Jeremy and Brando are here. How y'all doing?
Pretty good, idea.
I would like to immediately point out that Jeremy has an amazing beard.
Hey, this is the Corona beard. The coronavirus. I got a massive.
No, we can't say that.
Well, check it out. Here's the story. And I know you've been stuck. So I had a massive viral infection in my head.
Oh man.
And so and I've been sick for the last month off and on. So I finally went back to work today. Guess what showed up at work? The coronavirus.
God.
And I'm like, you know what? My immune system's so knocked down, I'm out. Poof.
Yeah, I would be out too. It's actually no joke. It's something you got to really worry about.
And some people are taking it like, oh, you're overreacting. You know what? But who's going to pay me when I'm sick? And who's going to pay my hospital bills? Your employer only cares so much. And, you know, you have to take your own life in your hands kind of thing. So I'm not messing around with it. I'm going to take care of myself.
Yeah. Yeah, no, 100%. Brenda, how are you doing, buddy?
Pretty good. How you doing?
I'm good. Are you locked down too?
Oh, yeah. Work's slowing down like crazy, so I'm sitting at home. Just built this.
Okay. Nice. A lot of micros. People are doing a lot of micros.
First one.
You know what? I said earlier, we just started flying the Movulas, and I love it. It's a blast.
Yeah.
I've been stepping out, you know, I can't actually touch anybody right now, which is great. But just stepping out on the front porch and like chasing kids down the road with the Mobula is a blast.
Yeah.
I know we're not supposed to do that, but they love it. So they at least they scream. I interpret that as loving.
Right. At that age.
Yeah. So let's see. Jason, do you mind if I move you out? All right, buddy. Appreciate it. All right, Jason is moving out, and we're bringing in Ben Winslow official. How you doing, sir?
Oh snap! How you doing, sir? Oh no! What did I do? Did I press the wrong button here?
I don't know, man. I can't. Oh, there you go. There you go. You're good. Hey, I think I hear
You know
I
what?
hear
I'm
the
using
live
that.
stream. Go ahead and mute the live stream on YouTube.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, got
All
it.
right, there we
Hey,
go.
what's up?
Okay. How you doing, man?
I wasn't actually expecting to like be on stream at all.
Yeah, you're here. Welcome. So, all right, what should we talk about with this auspicious channel that we have, or panel that we have here?
So I know everybody's kind of locked down. Oh, sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
All right. Oh no, go ahead. Someone else.
Go ahead, Jeremy.
Okay, so everybody's kind of locked down and cold weather, but I live in the Arizona, and we've been hitting like 78, 80 degrees, and long range, bro. We've been hitting the mountains. So check this out. I'll tell you. So I fly 2 frames or 2 companies. Rebel, all right. This is the Ruckus, 5.5 inch, 5S, 40 degrees tilt. Awesome, dude. This is awesome quad.
Yeah.
And then I got, here we go. Multicopter Builders, Epic. Yep. All right. His TPU, check out that TPU, dude. Look at that stuff.
Yeah, he's got some good stuff.
Yeah,
Ben, hold on one second. Ben, I had to mute you. There's a little bit of feedback, so I'll unmute you in a little bit. Yeah, I fly the MB Primos. They're one of my favorite motors. I love them.
So these are the 2205, 2550 kV, 5.5 inch on 5S. Ripper, dude. Woo! You better hold on, dude. Like I fly with people and they're like, "You're gone." Yeah. Well, when you fly big areas, you want to haul ass. And then I got the new Rebel Yeti.
There you go.
Check this bad boy out.
That's a huge frame.
Yeah, dude. So it's an 8-inch frame. We're running 7-inch props just to give it a little bit more distance between the props. And these are Primo 2410 1750 kVs. These motors rock, dude. They're so smooth. This thing, it has a totally different sound instead of that high pitched.
Yeah, it's a
the 7-inch. But dude, it's so smooth. Everybody just when it flies, they're like, "Whoa, that thing is stinking awesome." So yeah, we've been taking these things out 1.5 miles, 2 miles, and diving ravines and just like eating up the backcountry out here. We're totally spoiled. A lot of it's like Moab. We have like Fisher's Towers kind of stuff going on. A lot of rivers. So that's what we've been doing. We got out of the parks. Like I know you guys are kind of stuck inside and run the smaller quads, but that's our reality right now.
Do you fly with Richard?
No. I'm friends with him. He lives in Palm Springs.
Okay.
And I'm about 3 miles away. I've never got to fly with him. It's on my to-do list.
Yeah.
Sure. But yeah, the weather out here is stinking awesome, man. We're so spoiled, man. Everybody else is like snow and freezing. Dude, I'm like, look, I'm in shorts like year round.
We hit 80 degrees here today, so I was excited about that.
Yeah, but the bad part, we'll hit probably 115 during 120 during the summer.
Yeah, no thank you. No,
so we get up 5 o'clock in the morning, go fly to like 9:30.
But it's a dry heat.
You know what? Everybody says that, but it is. It's
I'm sorry. 115 is 115. I don't care if it's dry.
Dude, I walk out with flip-flops and I'm not even in the sun and my toes start getting hot.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So that's why we have swimming pools and barbecues, man. We go fly in the morning, cut it off at 9:30. We're home, we're barbecuing, listening to, some music and enjoying each other, working on videos and stuff like that. So, when everybody's enjoying their summer, we're like, oh my God, when's it going to be winter again?
So, all right. So J-Box, I want to come back to you for just a second. We've got this guy in the chat right now. He's not really not really a good racer. He really could use some pointers about how to be a better racer. So what do you think that this guy Nurky Turkey could do to just kind of up his game a little bit? It's just, I don't know, it's a little weak sauce, you know what I mean?
I was thinking about losing 10 years. Go back to being a teenager.
Gaining back the twitch factor.
I can relate to that. Maybe a throttle cap would help. A slower quad, you know.
Expo.
Right. How you doing?
Oh wait,
Nerd?
I can switch this to jerky nerky. That's what I was looking at race footage from like 2 years ago, and it's just like I just like wander all over the place.
That's how my freestyle is.
How are you guys?
Doing all right.
Pretty good. So, pretty good.
I don't know if any of y'all have seen a lot of Nurk's footage recently, but we get to see his house a lot because no one can go anywhere.
Yeah.
All right. So Nurk, we've got you here. You're like a source of wisdom and information, and like an idol for at least me. I've got a picture of you on the other wall that you can't see.
Wait, what?
So, yeah. Well, I've got this picture back here.
I see Sharpoo back there. That makes sense.
I've got you over there. It's more like a full-size poster, and you're half naked. But
is it those nudes? Yeah, I forgot about that.
It's you and Bardwell.
That makes
really?
it okay.
Please say no. It isn't. That is...
But I 100% should do that. So, all right. Let's talk about the DJI system. Let's talk about the DJI system. Is it real? Should we put our trust in it?
So for me, the DJI system is perfect for like cine stuff, like cinematic or being on set, especially. I have yet to have analog be have as good like penetration. So like I was like right around the time when it came out.
Hold on, this is a family show.
Yeah. No, that's fine. Right around the first time I got it, I went to Puerto Rico, and it was like between the hurricane and the earthquake. I think it was that order. So it was, but anyway, we were in an abandoned like naval base, and I haven't put out much content from this, so you haven't probably seen it. But like, and there was a series of 3 like warehouses. You're talking like football field sized warehouses that are filled with crap. And with analog, I could fly around the first one and like kind of get into the second one. And this is like through like the worst case scenario where I'm like standing on one end trying to go straight down through them. And but with the DJI system, like I could go like through each and every single one of them all the way down and out the other end. Like these are like metal shielded like warehouses that I could fly all the way through. And like so like that moment sold it on me. And that was with like stock antennas, and now we've come out with all these patches and all this kind of like the true RC stuff is really good. That makes it even better. So I'm sold for anything that's proximity or freestyle or anything but racing, pretty much.
Anything but
racing. And long range.
So the long range too, huh?
No, I would choose analog for like if I'm going like a mile and a half out and up, like absolutely analog still.
Okay.
Did you guys hear about the Bifrost module supposedly coming out this spring?
I heard that something's coming sometime.
Yeah, Fat Shark posted in RC groups saying, well, given the thing going on now, but it's slated for spring, and they've had a bunch of updates and upgrades on it.
The thing that I've seemed to like the most about Bifrost so far, like even with the version that they already put out, was that it played well with analog. So like the DJI system does not play well if you're like you have 2 people on DJI and like 2 people on analog or something, like you'll get a bunch of breakup from it. Okay. But Bifrost seemed to play really well with people that were still on analog, and that I really liked about it.
Yeah. Ben Winslow, you there, buddy? Can we hear you? I know you've been breaking up periodically. Let's see.
Yeah, had some internet connection issues.
Hey, no worries, man. So do you have a yeah, go. So tell me a little bit about you, what you fly, where you fly.
I have a FPV setup.
Okay.
Yeah, so I have I live in Detroit. I have a just the Tiny Hawk setup right now, but I have the Jumper T16, the Fat Shark HDOs. I went ahead and went like full on for like the full range and everything that I would be able to get out of it, and the clarity, being able to actually record. So the YouTube, have fun with it, you know. Oh, that's really nice, dude.
That's just so old, man.
I just had bought it used on eBay for $400. I'll still though. Hold on, let me grab my preference.
All right. Well, Ben, while Mr. Winslow is doing that,
really cool stuff, and all I have is this guy and this thing.
hey, but you're flying, right?
Just these.
So, all right. So, Nurk,
Yeah, exactly.
let's go back to you. When was your first flight?
I just wanted to say, like, if I had the money for the FPV stuff, yeah.
Yeah. It's expensive. So, Ben, I was actually trying to encourage you in the sense that, Nurk, like your first flight, your first drone, like, do you think it would be easier to get into it now?
Yeah.
I think it would definitely be easier to get into it now. Yeah, absolutely. The readiness of information and the collection of it. So yeah, when I got started, like it was just, in order to get any information, you had to like go, to the ends of the earth, like just dig through RC groups forums and all this kind of stuff to figure out how to make a build. And now today, like you can just go to Joshua Bardwell and find like 18 million videos on how to set up, like, which is not throwing shade. Like it's so good. Like I like every, like myself included, every top pilot I've ever talked to, they're like, they ask you how to do something, and then one of the other ones says, just watch the Joshua Bardwell video. So like, we're not talking just like entry level people, but like people that like, have been doing this for years are still, so it's awesome to have, the wealth of information that we have today.
So I just want to stop for a minute there and say, not only is Bardwell a smart dude and he does a lot for this community, but he does a lot for the individual people in the community too. So like he sent me this mic. We were in the first time I interviewed him, I was using my I have a dead cat up here on some Rode mic, and as soon as first thing I heard him, I was like, man, you sound great. And we did the interview, and then a couple days later he messaged me. He was like, hey, what's your address? And I was like, you coming to visit? Because that'd be cool. And he's like, no, but I got something for you. And then all of a sudden I get a notification there's a UPS shipment, and an Amazon box shows up, and it's a very nice mic. So I have a lot of gratefulness for Mr. Bardwell.
I mean, if you talk about people that like talk the talk and walk the walk, like, it's I went on a Rotorite trip to Seattle, and I'd wake up at 9 a.m. for whatever shoot we were going to do that day, and I'd find Bardwell there having made coffee, been up since 7:30, literally just sitting there answering emails all morning from just individuals, responding directly to them, not and that's because of, not because he doesn't think that there's someone else can do it or that there's information out there, but that is like a core principle of who
his
he
work
is
ethic
and his brand and all of that. So like he doesn't just say he cares about individuals, but he does that every single morning. And I'm like, I was blown away. I was so impressed.
Well, he told me when I interviewed him, I was like, what's your work day look like? He's full-time YouTube. And he said, well, I wake up before my family, and I pick up my phone and I answer questions for 2 hours until everybody wakes up. And then I go down, and he said he goes down, he does the family thing. And typically at that point, he either goes back to answering more questions, or he films a video, edits it, and then goes back to more questions. So like you can actually message him and get a response, which is just
He's
unreal.
answered every single question I've ever answered on private message. I mean, he's committed.
Yeah, he is. I will say, not that we have to have a all in love with Bardwell show. No, I mean he is. I mean, look, he is a sexy man. But if he were to go away, it would be a sad day for the hobby.
Oh yeah,
He's contributed so much that it would not be the same. Ben Winslow, they've got some. They're telling you to keep it up in the chat because you're just starting, man. You can do it. V-Ball, tell me about it, man. How you doing?
Doing good, Michael. How you been?
I really agree with
in your
go ahead.
isolation.
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. Let's hear. Let's let Mr. Winslow go ahead.
I just wanted to say I can really agree with everything that you were saying. It was a lot harder to get into it a few years ago. I've been flying the Mavic for like 5 years now, and it was enough learning curve there when I was really afraid of it all. I was just afraid to crash and lose my entire big expense. But with these little ones, like
especially nowadays, you can tell that it's made more for the consumer and it's a lot more streamlined, especially with you guys there to like help say, you know, like, yeah, if it wasn't for the unity, I literally wouldn't have even been able to start it all. So
For sure. All right. Mr. Jeremy, I'm going to move you out if you don't mind. Thank you for coming. We got a couple people, and Brando, I think I'm going to move you out as well if you don't mind.
No problem.
Thank you, gentlemen, for coming along. This has been great.
Hey, Mike, I'll go ahead and bounce too. I gotta cook some dinner, but I'll be listening.
All right.
And
Thank you,
I'm
man.
sure throwing in some comments from the Peanut Gallery.
Appreciate it. Good having you, buddy.
Yeah, you guys stay safe out there.
You too.
And
All right,
keep it to yourself.
Yes, sir.
Self-isolation. All right.
Bye.
See you guys. Bye.
All right. So, Brando, you can stick in for a little bit.
All right.
All right. Sorry, Jeremy. My bad. All right. So, Jester, how you doing, buddy?
Good. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Yep.
Oh, wow. I've got a Windows computer that I normally use, but I don't have a camera on it, so I pulled my Mac out.
Yeah, you sound good.
So
I'm a Mac guy, so.
Oh, really? Cool.
Yeah.
I just can't afford to keep up with Mac. They're bleeding me.
Oh, God. No, they're so expensive. They're so expensive. So V-Ball, V-Ball, I think we might have accidentally skipped you. How are you doing?
Doing good.
So what do you fly? I see like 18,000 quads on the wall behind you.
Well, some of those are I teach high school and I got a drone club. Some of those are the drone clubs.
Nice.
But I've got Slam Nasties, and my original one there on the corner is a real ACC because I didn't know any better. From Banggood. Yeah, I got started in it. You know, that was my first real racing quad in quotations.
Yep.
Yeah, but this last weekend before we got all shut down here in Dallas, I saw J-Box on a second ago. We had a chance to fly with Alex and Fluxy and Nub and all them, and
that's awesome.
It was a neat experience to see the focus that they take to go through their training every day, and how many batteries they go, and it's a machine.
Yep.
So
and I you know, that's a really good point. Like guys like Alex and Thomas and J-Box and Nurk, they don't just walk out onto the track and just crush it, right? They actually spend a lot of time pack after pack after pack after pack after pack putting in work trying to get better. And it was interesting. I heard that there's always been this whole thing like, okay, well, the younger racers are better because they have faster reflexes. And I think I bought that for forever. And then I finally did some research and I was like, it turns out your reflexes kind of peak about 22 in terms of like, your reaction time on average. And Night Fury actually called it out during the which one was it? The multi GP nationals. He said the young kids actually can just afford to put more packs in,
right?
Or more time, as it were. Yeah, and so it's super interesting to like see these guys. I mean, it's incredible. Like if you watch an Evan or a Vanover, or if you watch him fly, it's amazing. A Nurk counts too because he's listening, and so we kind of got to throw him just a little bit of a bone because I don't want him to really feel like we've left him behind. But Vanover beat him, so. But
I think the difference right now is like J-Box being 17. He texts me almost every day. Hey, let's go fly. Hey, let's go fly. Hey, let's go fly. And I got 2 kids, a wife, a full-time job,
right?
Yeah. I'm like, okay, hang on a second. Might be able to sim later. That kind of
might be able to sim.
Right. And I'm like, I got a job.
So I now let's talk about the sim for just a second. So Vanover is a pure true believer in packs, 100 packs a day, right? Evan Turner, on the other hand, flies sims more often than packs, and he flies the tournaments for sims a lot. And one of the questions that I've asked both them, and I think I may have asked Thomas, because his interview is in the process of coming out, was how do you prepare for that moment when it's the Final Four, or you're in the top 16 and that a lot is on the line now? How do you prepare for the moment when you are stepping out and getting ready to race? And Alex was the first one I asked a question. He was like, you just have to do it. And then I talked to Evan, and Evan was like, that's why I do the sim races, because you get the nerves. And his response was basically, I do the sim races because, number one, I'm getting better. But number two, I'm now in the constant competition over and over and over again, placing in the Final Four, getting to experience it over and over again, and preparing for the nerves of it, which I thought was really interesting. So it's
you practice under stress, you're going to perform under stress.
Exactly.
Makes us. Yep.
Yep.
Continuously put yourself in that position. Yep.
Yep. Which is why actually when I fly freestyle, I actually put a vice grip around my ankle. And I find that if you fly in pain, you actually you just suck.
You'll do great out of pain.
Does that mean you're ready for the pain of when you wreck and break something?
Yes, like when it hits the ground and catches fire.
Makes the walk of shame hurt less.
Yes. All right, so here, y'all want to hear a funny story? I did not use turtle mode until about 3 months ago. And because I kept chewing up antennas. And so I was like, okay, well, all right. I finally was like, okay, I just got to try it. And once I finally started using turtle mode, I was like, I can't believe that I've been this long without using turtle mode. That's insane. So beautiful. So anyways, my funny story. So Delta Bravo Tech, it seems like you may be into tech. You have what seems to be a very techy setup behind you. How you doing, man?
Oh, I'm doing good. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, we can hear you fine.
Oh, great. Yeah, I mean, we're doing good over here. I'm a work at home guy, right? Firmware engineer. So,
oh God,
yeah, you kind of hit home there, huh?
Yeah, I'm a software engineer, so I know that you're a whole lot more badass than I am.
I don't know about that, but it's all the same, right?
But you
There's always
operate
schedules, and the pressures are still the same, and you're always trying to get something out the door.
Yeah,
but I do get to work at home, which is nice. And this whole FPV thing is caught my attention about a year ago. Mm-hmm. And working at home was sort of new for me. I've been doing it for about 2 years, and you get a little stir crazy. And then when I discovered this whole thing, I was like, wow, this is something really fun for me to do while I'm taking breaks, while I'm working at home. Mm-hmm. So I've been, flying around the house and stuff like that and practicing. It's been good. And also I like the whole open source idea, so that you can learn as you go, right?
Have you contributed to Betaflight at all?
I have not. I have thought about it, definitely.
Because I can imagine someone with firmware experience would be phenomenal for them.
Yeah, and I definitely, it's on my to-do list. It's just scheduling has just been tough, and I haven't had time to commit to that yet.
So, yeah. Well, I mean,
when I do get any time, I want to try to go fly. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah. By the way, I want to call out that Nurk said that now that I've hit has-been status, I appreciate the shout out. So, anyways, so Jester, I feel like I've seen some of your videos.
Me? Probably.
Yeah,
not.
Probably not. Okay.
I mean, I've got like one or two, but
okay.
I just got finished with my associate's degree, and in one of my classes, I had to do video stuff. And so I've only got one video where I narrowly took out the internet and the entire neighborhood.
So what do you fly?
Actually, I fly, I've got a 5-inch and a 6-inch that I like to fly. Okay. And I just got into wings. I'm building a mini track right now.
Cool.
Putting a vector in that. I don't know if that means anything to anybody.
Yeah. So here's a question for y'all, because I feel like I'm going to get at least 3 hands raised. How many of y'all have kids?
It's everybody except one.
Mr. Winslow, he looks a little bit younger than the rest of us. What is it like? So how do you balance the kids with the family time with FPV? And y'all go right ahead, jump in.
I don't know how old any of you guys, how old your kids are, but mine's 18. So
okay.
He's non-existent. It's not a problem. All I ever see is him snoring and leaving. That's it.
Yeah.
Mine's 9. I try to get her involved, so I got her a couple tiny whoops. So kind of try to make it kind of like a bonding time.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Delta Bravo Tech?
I got a 5-year-old and an 8-year-old, and I'm trying to do the same, get them involved. It hasn't captivated them yet, but I could tell you about learning to fly and getting better and having them around you as a distraction is actually pretty helpful. Because when you learn to be able to do that, have the goggles on and have kids doing whatever they're doing around you, including touching you and grabbing you and pulling on you, it actually kind of enhances your skills.
So do you get to use them as spotters?
Oh, that has not happened, but generally what they want is for me to fly around them. I'll fly the micros around them and stuff, and they try grabbing it and doing all that, which is kind of fun.
Mm-hmm. V-Ball, what about you? What's your experience with kids in FPV?
Both of mine, since I'm doing it, they kind of don't want to do it. My oldest is actually really good at it. Just doesn't want to do it because this is my thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I got the drone club, so I've got 15, 16 of my boys and girls at school that I got to herd like cats, trying to get them to fly tiny whips inside the library and not break things. So
V-Ball, are you Trent?
Yes, sir.
I'm like, man, I know you.
Yeah.
Good to meet you face to face, man.
There you go.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I wish they would do it because I think on the family time when I'm out flying, I can have them with me.
Mm-hmm.
But my youngest one's select baseball. The older one's 18, about to graduate. He's trying to be a full-time gamer, blah, blah, whatever, kind of thing. So
this is the only time that I'm glad my son is a gamer. I mean, I told him the other day, he's like, just go in the basement and don't come out for 2 weeks. And he thought that was all right.
Right.
Brando, what about you? So you've got the tiny whoop, and what'd you say the ages were?
9. Yep.
9. Okay. So I'm in the 10. Wait, hold on. Let me get this right. 11, 12, and 14 are mine. So I'm just at the age where they're actually like really able to like do it autonomously.
Yep.
My 12-year-old is phenomenal. He's better than me, except he's just more cautious. My 14-year-old is way less cautious than I am and expensive when he flies. And my daughter has kind of shown interest and kind of not shown interest periodically. Ever since we've gotten these, she's shown a little bit more interest. She's flown a few times. But I think that, going back to Mr. Winslow, I think that the entry level stuff is just great. It's phenomenal. Just the fact that you can buy off the shelf now, that you don't have to put together. Because that was killing me for a while. I'm not a huge builder, and having something that I can just give to them is amazing.
I love building.
Well, the wealth of knowledge that's on YouTube nowadays is so.
I
helpful.
actually do have. Sorry.
Go ahead.
I misheard who you were saying. Could go ahead there.
Oh no, go ahead. You, Mr. Winslow, you're up.
I do have an experience with kids and whatnot. So niece, I've let my Mavic for a little bit of time, like just a little bit. And yeah, it's actually really great to show to kids. I can really agree with what saying, where like the distraction, like especially in my case, because I was having like I sort of showed her a little bit and then went and got on an ATV, and I was like, "Go, you record me." And like while I'm on the ATV in one of my clips, that it's not on YouTube, but there's one bit where you can see me turn around while I'm on the ATV and go like, "Don't hit that tree." And it's just like, yeah. Yeah, it can be really fun playing with kids around, you know.
Yes.
It's hard to get kids outside these days. The video games, my daughter, it's Roblox, so to be able to get her out and try to get her to focus on it for longer than 5 minutes is an accomplishment in itself.
For sure.
Fortnite is.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I have a buddy. He's actually a pretty good friend. He flew for a while. He got good really quick, and he's a little bit younger. He was in his 20s, and I'm in my 40s. So go figure. Me and Nurk were has-beens, so it is what it is. But he got really good really fast, and then eventually he just kind of fell out. And one day he pops up and he's playing Fortnite full time and making money at it. And we talked about it a little bit. He was like, "Man, it's such a grind." He's like, "I got to play 8 hours a day." And I'm just like, I can't, like, if I love flying, I don't know that I would love to fly 8 hours a day. Like, I probably would be cool with it for like the first few weeks, but it might get a little old. So, but playing a video game for 8 hours a day, no, thank you.
I think the worst thing that could ever happen is your hobby or something that you really enjoy.
It becomes your job.
Becomes your job, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. But all right, let's see. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I don't mean to like flip the script, but where's everybody from? I'm filming right now where it's cold and windy.
Florida,
nice.
I'm from Detroit.
What part? Cape Coral.
Wow, right. When I was in the Navy, I spent some time in Pensacola.
Oh, okay, cool. Warm now. It's getting warmer.
I'm from the east side of Dallas. Rockwall.
Nice.
He's at the place where everybody walks around armed.
I think that's both of our states.
That's just to shoot snakes, actually. I'm from Virginia Beach, so.
Oh, you're in Virginia Beach. Nice.
I am.
I'm in South Charlotte, North Carolina.
Okay. There you go.
I don't know. It just always amazes me how the internet can connect the world. So.
Yep.
Yeah, for me, Michael, you have been the conduit for me meeting in a virtual sense all these people in this community.
Thank you.
I've really much enjoyed your show.
Thank you very much.
I mean, I watch it all the time when I'm working, and it's great.
Well, I appreciate that. It's definitely, it's fun. I mean, it's fun. It's definitely, I've been doing it for a year, and so I kind of took a little bit of a step back the last month or so, just to kind of say, okay, what do I want to do? How do I want to do it? So there's a little bit that's going to change, but not too much. All right, hold on. We're gonna rotate people around. Mr. Brando, thank you for coming on, sir. I appreciate your time.
Yeah, thank you.
And now we're gonna boot you. And ladies and gentlemen, holy cow, it's the UFDA crew, all of them.
Wow.
Damn.
What I do?
Zorro.
You should realize
That's
when
cheating.
that's
really cool though.
Let's see, how do I make y'all full screen? Let's see.
Wow, I'm not feeling up to be in this group.
No, blah blah blah.
I don't think
Nope.
so. I think we're live. I don't think we're live right now.
Who, y'all?
Ew. Earlier, but
You're live.
That's not it. That's not. Oh well. Anyways, I'm not smart enough to figure out this tool. So how is the UFDA crew doing? By the way, ladies and gentlemen, if you heard about or went to the DC thing where we the protest, thank you, because words are escaping me right now. They're difficult. If you went to the protest, then you may thank Enoch and the rest of his team because they absolutely killed it. Zorro, maybe not so much. I don't know, but how are y'all doing?
Doing good. How you doing?
Man, I'm doing all right, dude. We're having a blast. Here, oh wait.
Can you
There
hear
we
the
go.
guys,
All right.
or is it just me right now?
Say again.
Can you hear the other guys?
No, actually, I can't. All I hear is you.
Hold
All
on.
right,
I have to
so
figure out how to give you them to. Give me a second.
yeah, so all of the other folks, you can still talk. We're putting the UFDA crew up. Zora, I really do not want to see your breasts.
All right. Here's Zoro's breath now.
Let's see. All right, some of y'all other than nope, Chris, I can't hear him. Hold on, we're taking a technical moment.
I think it's working.
Is it? Let's see.
I don't know.
Is Gravy wearing a tie? Oh no, it's his microphone.
Yeah. No, I can't. Man, I don't hear him. It's not piping through for some reason.
Darn it.
That's a bummer. We can look at Chris. All right. So if y'all look at the guy on the bottom right or the bottom middle of the screen, he's not only one of the prettiest men in FPV, but he is also one of the winners of the GoPro challenge. So, and then there's Zorro up in the upper left-hand side, who is kind of the exact opposite of Chris Teal. And then there's Old Gravy. Yeah. All right. Well, yeah. Hey, Enoch, I'm gonna put you back off full screen. All right. Well, if you figure it out, let me know. But
All right,
yeah. So
I'm trying. It's weird. I don't know why it's not.
Enoch is like, if you have a streaming question, Enoch is the man to go to. Really, most of those guys. Yeah. Look at that. Chris is popping up the GoPro award. So Mr. Wesley D. Pennypacker says that he wants to see Zorro's breasts. Apparently, we're not sure if he's okay.
Anyways,
with his head, but...
Let me get my
now.
Anyway,
oh wait, I think I hear him.
Michael,
There we go.
Michael Rollins.
Mike, yeah.
Check.
Don't worry, Zorro. They can't hear you.
Mike, check.
We're not live.
Yeah,
Mike,
we can't hear
Mike,
you right now.
Check. So, Chris, show him the trophy.
Check.
Yeah, let's see the trophy.
Yeah.
There we go. It's like
nice.
I think we're in doing streamception right now.
Yes.
This is a stream within a stream.
There.
Ow.
Look what I can do.
Look what I yes. All right, so y'all introduce yourselves real quick. Some of y'all don't need introduction.
Well,
like
yes.
Well, this was fun.
Yeah, that was good. Everything was cool.
It was nice hanging out.
Good meeting y'all. See you later.
Right, we gotta go to the next party. Peace.
All right, bye.
All right.
Peace, Michael Rollins. We gotta do stuff.
We gotta do.
Next
Yeah,
time
we
I'm
got to
in
protest the coronavirus
Look,
now.
Yeah,
So,
you should do that.
Everybody watch your hands.
Everybody meet up in a park.
Social
Yep.
distance. More Zoom.
10 feet minimum distance from each
Yes.
other.
But that'll let us cover more area.
Let's go beat up those helicopter pilots.
Oh man, Funk is peeing, so that's 3 streams right now.
Oh.
All the streams.
Mhm.
All the streams.
Oh.
Just don't cross your piss stream with our stream, please.
Oh.
No crossing.
Right?
Yeah.
Nah. I can't
No,
hear.
in nature, they both usually happen at the same time, right?
You like apples? Because
How do you like them apples?
don't cross screens, bro.
Oh my goodness.
Are we still?
Yeah, y'all are still y'all
Are
are
we
still in
watching
here.
ourselves?
All right.
And as a
Yes.
matter of fact, everybody
Sorry, we're
else
dragging
is
you into the darkness, and we will
drag
say
you
goodbye
into
now.
the deep side. And they're gone.
That's hilarious.
That was awesome.
Look, those guys are so much fun. I love them. That is awesome. So much fun to have them in there. All right, folks. So we've only got 5 people in the stream. So if you would like to jump back in, then we can stream within the stream within the stream. Mr. Pennypacker, I think we need to see you. I don't know if y'all know who Funk FPV is, but if you have seen any of the Hitler videos, which are at times a little critical of Rotor Riot, that's okay. He has done quite a few of those, and they are freaking hysterical. I made a special appearance on one of them, which was really an honor for me. But let's see. I don't know if he's gonna come in. Anyways, well, I guess he's scared. I don't know. All those Rotor Riot official community, whatever guys they're just terrified. I don't want to be on the stream. So, all right. So we were talking about kids. So Trent, you have the best insight into getting kids flying. How do you do it at high school?
When I first started, I just took me and one other kid, and we went into the library where everyone hangs out. And this is going to sound crazy, but we have a pool table in our library. And a bunch of kids, where some of the football players, standing around playing pool before school started. And I set the drone in the middle of the pool table and flew it around. And they're like, I go, do you want to do this? And they're like, I don't want to break it. So I flew it into one of the windows and said, you're not going to break it. Just grab this and go. And it took about 3 months going in there, once, twice a week. And now we got 15, 16 kids that come in, and it's been really fun. Right now, we actually have about 4 to 5 girls that show up every Wednesday when we fly.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
And it's really cool because like some of these kids are wicked smart and they're going to do engineering when they go to college. And some of them just want to fly because they love flying and they're not going to go to college. So we have a broad spectrum of getting them in the goggles. Some of them don't want to do that. They just want to learn to fly line of sight. But we set up a little track inside the library and let them fly around that. And but to get them interested, most of them think they're going to break it, so they don't want to try it. And then I'll throw it at them or throw it at one of the other kids that's in the club, and they're like, okay, so I'm not going to break this. No, you're not going to break it. And if you do, we'll just fix it.
Yeah.
And some of the kids are sitting down fixing them that they broke. So
what do y'all fly?
Right now we got the Inductrix.
Okay.
A few of those I've had donated. And we got the newbie drone. The new newbie drone, I've got one of those. I let them fly that. The Beta 75X, I let them fly that. J-Box has come in and flown the couple of the 3-inch toothpicks inside the library.
Very
It's
cool.
scary because he doesn't know anything other than full throttle. I got some really sweet videos of it though.
Yeah.
Yeah, and our library is pretty impressive. It's got kind of 3 levels and it's got a 5-foot gaps in between beams across the top of them. So I mean, it's a full on. You do Matty flips, and I mean, it's really full. It's really cool.
Have you been in touch with any of the the like Jesse Perkins or Randall Knight, the third?
No, I haven't reached out to those guys yet. Right now, I have enough stuff to adequately have enough for them to fly. But I would imagine by the end of this year, if we get to go back to school, because right now we have to do it online, I'll start needing some stuff probably.
Yeah. Okay. Nurk has a comment for you, which is, I think V-Ball just described the drone equivalent of "come into my van, I have candy."
Free hugs.
Yes. Yes, indeed.
Yeah. So
I have drones.
Thanks, Nurk. I appreciate that.
Oh my goodness.
I actually got a lot of people into flying by doing pretty much the same thing though.
Okay. In terms of kids flying?
I didn't hear what he said.
Pretty much like anyone is really just setting it down somewhere, flying around and going, do you want to do this? Like I have one friend who I've actually been training up in the simulator. He's kind of fallen off on practice because of this whole quarantine thing, but one of my friends I got into by doing that. I also know this like Vietnam Air Force pilot. All I had to do was fly in front of him once, and he got really into it. He was like, "Dude, I need to do that." And I actually sold him all my old stuff, all the Hubsons and stuff that I trained up on with for the Mavic 5 years ago. I like sold all that stuff to him.
That actually brings me to a good question. How many of y'all had either a Hubson or a SEMA as your first drone?
My first drone.
I mean, seriously, y'all suck. It's just like, hey, I'm gonna ask a really good question.
Well, my first drone I bought for my son, and it was a Traxxas Alias. The arms are real bendy, and I got it from Hobby Town here in Rockwall. And I sucked at flying line of sight. My son's ripping up and down the street, doing great at it. So I'm like, there's got to be some way of putting a camera on this. And my wife now thanks me for getting into the FPV oh wow, I can put a camera on this. So I cut a hole and hot glued a camera on there, and yeah, that's been a year since that happened.
Yep. For me, it was a Hubsan. What the Hubsan? With like X4 or something, the black one.
Yeah, I started with the Hubsan H107Cs.
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
Something like that.
Yeah, and then ended up, from there it just kind of exploded into the Nito frames, and then eventually I settled on. I like the MQC Fusion. I'm gonna plug them real quick. This frame has seen abuse after abuse after abuse. So, let's see. Is there any? We got an open space. Does anybody want to come join? Are you afraid? Anybody terrified to be on the Michael Rollins show? Because we're a real mean group. Trent, one thing I was thinking you could probably add to your repertoire is if you just kind of carry around a red balloon. I think that would be completely spectacular. 100%. And if you hide in the sewers too. I've got a drone.
Yeah, the clown costume to go along with it.
What'd you say, Jester?
Yeah, the clown costume to go along with that too.
Oh, we got Jeremy back.
Yeah. Hey, so I not to interrupt you guys, but who's on the Tango 2?
Who's say you peeked out? What'd you say?
Who has owned the Tango 2 radio?
Not me.
Ooh, guys, you're in for a treat. Radio's super dope, man. Super dope. If you guys get a chance, I know.
No. Hold on. I want to show you something though. It is the wait. Where's the official designation? Here it is. You notice there's no plus.
Oh, cool, buddy.
Man, I bought that on eBay. I was like, I got a Tyrannus. I had no idea
I have the QX7. I have the Tyrannus XD. The cool thing about the Tango 2 is like if you put it in your hands and close your eyes, it feels like a full-size radio. The throw of the sticks, so it's a super plus. I got to use one a couple of weeks ago that my buddy bought. And man, it's sweet. The only thing kind of sucks is you run the smaller quads.
Yeah, you can't. No, XJet showed how to do it.
Yeah, but this stuff's kind of old, and my TBS receivers and everything else. But yeah, if you guys get a chance, that's the shit right there, buddy.
All right, hold on. Let me stop you right there. Mr. Winslow, I'm going to go ahead and thank you for coming on. I'm going to let Mr. Quadrophenia back in. I appreciate your input, buddy. It was good hearing from you.
I see you, Ben.
Yeah.
All right. Later, guys.
Yeah.
All right, let's add Mr. Quadrophenia. Okay, so as y'all know, I'm still in the middle of putting out the Thomas Bitmata video, and the Thomas and a lot of the other guys have been flying. What are the really nice radios?
Futaba,
yes. They've been flying the Futabas, and Thomas has almost officially committed to making the jump to the Tango. Or at least, let me rephrase that because I don't want to put words in his mouth. He is now flying both, but he likes the setup of the Tango better. And he likes the ergonomics of it better, and he feels like it flies at least as well as the Futaba. So that's a big statement. Go ahead.
I have very strong feelings about this.
All right, let's hear it, man.
On his eyes.
Bring it.
Yeah.
So, preface. I'm a Futaba sponsored pilot.
Preface.
Follow up. I have not been to a major race in which someone did not fail safe when running TBS. Let me rephrase. Every major race I've been to in the last 2 or 3 years, I've seen one of the top 10 contenders get knocked out of heats because their TBS crossfire fail-safed during a race because Now, not because of the technology, but because not everyone is respecting the rules properly. We have rules set up for how you use a VTX, what channel you're on, what milliwatt output you're on, and people do not respect that. And at a race, when you have a problem with your control link, what's your first reaction? Oh, I'll just go bump up the power. And that hurts. That was gentle language. Hurts everybody else, and it just starts to become this escalating ball of fury. So I strongly advocate to anyone, especially Mr. Thomas Bitmata, that he should continue on his 2.4 gigahertz control link because it is a much wider band that allows for more consistent control, in my opinion.
Well, it's probably a rather informed opinion, I would imagine.
I probably should get going. I don't have much I can add to this.
Thank you, Jester. I appreciate you coming on, buddy.
Easy, yes, sir.
I fly Tango 1 and my hands are paralyzed. So,
Dude, awesome to have you on. Thank you for coming on, buddy.
Good job, man.
Yep, have a good night.
All right, buddy. Bye.
And I want to clarify, this is for racing.
Yeah.
Fine. Like, but just for especially racing, like just I don't know.
Well, I don't race at all. We fly long range. And
Perfect.
Yeah, and we're one person at a time. We don't take any chances of knocking anybody out of the sky. Yeah. Oh, so you got it, brother.
Yeah, I got mine here. I love it, but I can't race with it.
Yeah. Well, I guess there's a tool in the shed for every job, huh?
Yes, there is. And for what it's worth, I mean, some of us are still flying equipment that was around when the dinosaurs were on the Earth.
It still works, man.
It still works. But I, on the other hand, I typically either fly by myself or maybe with my kids. So it's, for me, Spectrum and everything like that, I just stay on F4. It's not a big deal.
Where do you live, Michael?
I live in Virginia Beach, and the reason.
Wait, what?
Yeah, so
I was there like a year ago.
I had heard you were here.
Whoops.
It's like there's actually quite a few people that fly around here, but the region is super spread out. I think like Virginia Beach and Suffolk are two of the largest cities by landmass in the United States, or close to it. So like you can start at the top of Virginia Beach and drive south, and you can drive for an hour or more and still not be out of the city. And that's without traffic. So it's actually really hard to get people together around here. And we're kind of technically Class C everywhere. So let's just say that we're in all right, ladies and gentlemen, let's see, who do we have? Mr. Trent, I'm going to have to ask you to leave the party because there's a gentleman that is about to join that needs. Thank you for coming on, buddy.
Oh, yeah. We'll talk to you later.
All right.
Later, Trent.
Ladies and gentlemen, the OG himself.
Holy shit.
Yeah, right.
Late to the party again, guys.
That's the New Zealand way, though.
Oh, yeah, this is awesome. This is a first for me. Oh my god.
All right, so Jeremy, you no longer have the best beard in the live stream.
I was just saying.
that beard has been well crafted over many years. How are you doing, Bruce?
Oh, busy, really busy, man. I'm sort of getting into the toilet paper industry, making a fortune selling by the sheet outside the supermarket, $10 a sheet. But people have said, "Hey, I'm not buying that. You've cut it. It's cut, like the heroin and stuff, you know." But, I'm getting by.
What do you cut your toilet paper with?
Knife.
You walked into that one.
Fair enough. I was hoping for like plywood or.
Yeah. No, I just realised I can't be too close to the camera in these times. We're going to move back a bit, social distance and all that.
Oh yeah. I want to know how I have to wear the toilet paper to protect myself.
I'm just working on a cookbook now. My new cookbook had 7 family-friendly recipes made with toilet paper and hand sanitizer.
Nice. I'll be the first to get one of those.
Yes, everybody's pantries will be full of this stuff by now. And people don't realize that, this alcohol hand sanitizer, you need soap. It breaks down the lipid thing on the outside of the virus thing. It's much better than alcohol.
Actually,
alcohol's for drinking. I finished my wine tonight.
Yeah.
So it's all gone.
So, Mr. Bruce, how have you been? Life treating you well?
Yeah, busy, which is good. I've been pretty busy. So, working on my YouTube alternative, which has kept me really busy.
Okay. Have you built any ICBMs on your backyard recently?
No, too busy for that, actually. I've got to bring YouTube down first.
Oh, God. So can you, so your YouTube alternative, can you shed any light on that?
I can indeed. It's we've got was it Library and BitChute, a sort of peer-to-peer distributed type platforms. Well, this is something similar, except it enables everybody to basically have their own little web server hooked up to their internet modem or wireless router or their router or whatever, and you can host all your own videos. And so you've got full control. People can't take them down. They can't strike you for anything. And what it does is, the secret of this is it has an API, an interface that allows any other company to come along and start curating all these self-hosted videos. Mm-hmm. So by using that API, various companies can set up as a YouTube of themselves, but they don't have to host anything. And they don't have to pay for all the bandwidth charges. They've just got to create a nice little index database so that you can find the videos you want. And they can put a pre-roll ad before each video that they find, so you can also monetize it. People like you and I that are making a fortune out of YouTube, Michael, we can continue to make a fortune with this system, because all the other options like Library and BitChute, there's no money in it for content creators. It's not like YouTube keeps the content creators because they offer you this paltry little check every month that will basically enough to buy toilet paper these days. But by doing this, enables a whole lot of other companies to set up as curators of content and to clip the ticket as it goes through and put ads on, which means there's competition in that space. With YouTube, there's no competition, but this puts competition in the space. So people be begging you to let them monetize your videos.
So if you're serving up the video from your own personal web server, where do you get the bandwidth throughput to, say, Mike's latest interview with Drib quitting Rotor Riot or something goes absolutely viral.
All right, no, please. That is 100% hyperbole. That is not happening.
But when that happens, how does Mike's home server have enough bandwidth to serve up that content for everyone's API that's piping into it?
I know, but 2 or 3 views a day is not a big deal. But what it does is it's intelligent. All the individual servers can talk to each other through the internet. And if you've got a video that's starting to take off, starting to get some views, then as someone who hosts content, if you've got, say, a gigabit internet connection like I have, gloat, you can simply opt to say, well, I will co-host those videos. So when a video takes off and goes viral, starts getting millions of views, a copy's dumped onto my little web server, and then I get a tiny percentage of every dollar that generates an ad revenue. So it's worth my while to co-host that content. And so when a video takes off, it's automatically distributed amongst the network of self-serve video servers, and the capacity grows organically to meet the demand.
So it's kind of like a torrenting model, but
yeah, just somewhat similar to that. Okay. The real thing is that people don't want to have to leave their desktop computers, their laptops on 24 hours a day just to act as a web server. So I've just developed a little bit of, just glued some hardware together. Basically, it's a Raspberry Pi, latest Raspberry Pi with a 1 terabyte USB hard drive. Total cost $100, and you whack a SD card in. It gives you all the software. So all you do is you plug that into your router, or even through Wi-Fi. You just log into it, set yourself up, and it becomes your web server. You don't have to do anything except enter your ID, your login details, and then you can just upload your videos like you do to YouTube. Once the video is on your little server, it contacts the curating sites and says, hey, I've got this video. Here's the thumbnail. Here's the description. Here's all the other stuff. Put it in your little database that you're going to be allowing people to search when they want to find a video. And then away they go. Suddenly you're online, and you might have 4 or 5 of these curation sites all linking to your video, all monetizing that video, all sending you a check every month.
So how do you avoid them playing whack-a-mole like they did with the Pirate Bay?
Who's going to play? Why would people play whack-a-mole? What's the stop?
So I mean, the art was the RIAA.
If there was copyright problems, and if there's a copyright issue, if you put up a music video that's copyrighted by the RIAA, whatever, then they will have to issue a DMCA against you because you're the person's hosting it, right? So they'll have to come to you directly and issue. So if there's 1,000 copies of this on the internet, every copy will have to be DMCA'd. So it makes it very difficult for people to abuse the copyright system in that way. Sure, it becomes easier for people to pirate stuff, but what will happen is the curation sites will probably be approached by the big copyright holders, and they'll say, look, you're not allowed to link to these videos. So they will then handle the DMCA issues. But because there are so many curation sites, it's going to make the job of those who would abuse copyright much harder than it is now.
What about the other way around, where somebody small or like middle sized just takes it and re-uploads it for themselves in a way, you know? Because now it's going to be hard for, you know, me with, you know, only 10,000 views per whatever, like to be able to go DMC, you know, like a larger organization.
Yeah, there are a few things like that will have to be looked at. Obviously, the people at curation sites will have to be on that. If you have a copyrighted video, they may choose simply not to include it in their index. And if you do it repeatedly, they may say, well, we're not going to index you anymore. So you can still serve up your own videos, but you won't be in our index. So there may be sites, there may be curation sites that set up basically to handle just copyrighted material and just ignore the DMCAs. They may be based in Romania or something. They may there is a degree of abuse available there, but there's so much abuse now. There are people who use YouTube who are getting copyright claims from people that don't own their content, but unless they want to take it to court, the content gets monetized by someone else who says, oh, that's my content, because there's no proof involved. You know, people are getting totally ripped through the YouTube system.
Yeah. I had a funny monetization thing pop up the other day. Whenever I build a flight edit, I'll go find some cool music, and I've recently been digging into remixes. And so I found this remix that was like Evanescence, Eminem, and Tupac, which is like, it's phenomenal. And I put it up, and like 5 people claimed it. And I ended up getting revenue because I don't know, they didn't claim it completely. It was really a bizarre situation. But you know, not that I condone stealing at all. I mean, I'm happy for them to take their share of what I'm using. But it was really interesting to realize that like there were so many crossing streams of claims that it was. Go ahead.
The whole thing is stupid. I mean, what annoys me most is that YouTube says you're a valuable channel partner. You know, we value you, and I've dished them up 120 million views between my channels since I started on YouTube. And look at the money. There's over the period of time, it's a lot of money. But they're saying now, oh, you know, we realize our algorithms are probably going to make mistakes, and content will be demonetized when it shouldn't be, and deleted when it shouldn't be because of this situation we've got at the moment.
Right.
And what they're saying is, but we know our algorithms are flawed, but we're going to trust them ahead of you, our partner, who over more than 10 years has proven to be totally reliable in terms of what you upload. No copyright strikes, no community guideline strikes, but we're going to trust this flawed algorithm ahead of you. We're not going to believe you when you say that this is suitable for monetization. That really just grates.
So here's the premise I've always operated off of. You know, YouTube turned their algorithm over to machine learning, a few years ago? There's no one that knows how that algorithm works. There's not a single soul that can explain that algorithm in rational language.
That's how AI works. You just teach it stuff and you don't know what it's doing. You just see the outcome, but you don't know how it's achieving it.
I work for an AI machine learning company, so sometimes it pops things up and we're like, oh, that's pretty awesome. But yeah, on the other hand, it can get out of hand sometimes. So,
and the thing that annoys me about YouTube is the robots, the AI goes much deeper than you think, because quite often when you think you're talking to a person, you're talking to a bot. You know, if you're interacting with YouTube, you think, oh, you know, you make an appeal or something, and the answer comes back, it's a canned response. It's the bots obviously just fired it back at you. So they're not even drawing a clear demarcation between when it's a computer and when it's a person you're dealing with. And again, what are they hiding? You know, I mean, they've got so big that they've got arrogant. And now I think is the perfect time for them to take a bit of a hit, because there are going to be so many people watching YouTube now with nothing else to do, that there's a great opportunity for someone else to come in. And the beauty of the system, this distributed system, is it adds resources as and when required. It's organic. You don't have to put billions of dollars into servers all over the world to service the demand. Every time someone puts their videos online, they're adding server capacity, they're adding bandwidth to the whole network, and it just grows organically. So it'll always meet the demand.
Well, the peer-to-peer thing has been shown to scale. It works. I do like the centralization of the nodes is where you do run into problems. So I can kind of see both sides of it from Nurk and from Bruce.
Yeah, and also if you want to go to BitChute or library. There's a library website, there's a BitChute website. But with the system, there'll be any number of websites you can use to access the content, because that API will be accessible to anyone that wants to become a curator and meets the requirements to be a curator. So you're not, again, there's no single point of failure as there is with like library. If the library website goes down, what do you do? If or they've got an app, I suppose, but
or if
BitChute,
YouTube decides they don't like your, I mean, when I did the infamous Chad Nowak video, which had unfortunate title, I got demonetized for a month, like just because we talked about things, mental health and other things. And it was a learning experience for me. It's like, hey, if you touch on something that's touchy, YouTube is there's repercussions, and YouTube is going to come back and say, hey, we don't trust you. So,
and that annoys me too, because they claim to be a platform and a carrier, therefore they can't be responsible for copyright infringements and that. But the reality is that they are very much shaping what people see. They're very much curating, they're editing. They are, we'll promote this, we won't promote that, depending on whether it meets that, complies with our political ideologies and things. And it's dangerous. That's like the mainstream media at the moment. We all know with drones, they are creating hysteria. They are just completely misrepresenting the reality of the situation. And YouTube's doing the same with other stuff. And that makes me wonder, this whole plague situation we've got at the moment, when we see how badly the media has misrepresented the hobby and drones and so forth, can we really believe any of this crap they're telling us about this particular pathogen? Or is it just they're out there to make as much money as they can? They'll hype everything up, sensationalize it, and the real big problem is that the politicians get most of their information from the media. So the media the politicians, we're making this decision because it's essential. Yeah, because we read in the Daily Mail that all these people are going to die. It's just complete and utter misinformation. I'm really concerned. I think this is going to be a much smaller problem than it has been made into by the media.
In terms of the drone thing, there's no hard evidence to support what the media is claiming. In terms of the virus, there is actually underlying hard data. Like my company's analyzing it. So there's actually underlying hard data from the CDC, the NIH, the WHO. Now, you do have to ask the question whenever you pull data from anybody, do you trust that source? I feel like it's reasonable to trust the CDC, the WHO, the NIH, especially when they corroborate each other. And so like you've always said, going back to the drone industry, hey, show me the data, show me the crashes, show me the actual problems that drones are causing, and they can't. And that's sensationalization. Whereas with the whole virus thing, there's actually hard data to back it up. And what's interesting is that, and probably more terrifying, at least here in the US, is that a media organization took their cues from a political party. And that's more disturbing to me than the other way around. So,
yeah, though I look at it and say, well, every year in the USA, 30,000 people die on the roads, 30,000 people die of firearms, millions of people die from cancer. Every year, millions of people die. And this is just another cause of death, right? So, yes, it is an issue. We must deal with it in the best way we can to flatten the curve and everything. But we're still getting this media hysteria, well, this many people are going to die. And they are sensationalizing the facts. The facts are the facts, but they're still sensationalizing them for profit. And that's what annoyed me about YouTube too. Every video I've put out recently has been demonetized, because even if you just hint at this horrible plague we've got, you get demonetized. As soon as you hit that publish button, it goes orange, right? Instantly. Yep. Even if the word COVID isn't mentioned, there's nothing in there.
Yeah.
So yet they came out and said on the Creator Insider channel, we're allowing some of our YouTube channel partners to monetize their videos on this subject. Mainstream media and the big names. Well, why are you discriminating against the little guys like me? CNN isn't going to go broke if all their videos are demonetized on the subject. But if all my videos are demonetized, I'm not going to earn any money. I can't survive. Why are you punishing the people that made YouTube great? We were here long before CNN and BBC and all the others, but we're getting the short end of the stick. And so that, again, is what sort of spurred me into action with this alternative. We've got to do something, because for evil to triumph requires only that good men do nothing.
Yeah. Well, send me the spec for the device. I'll build one.
Well, I'm doing a video now, just basically, because you can go and buy a Raspberry Pi from anywhere. You can go and buy a USB drive from anywhere. All you want is the SD card, plug it in, plug the two things together, enter your user ID and your password, and then you've got your own little YouTube sitting on the desk beside you. It doesn't even have to be hardwired, and it uses like about 8 watts of power an hour or something. So it's nothing, and it can run 24/7.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so let's see. Does anybody? We've got 50 some viewers. Anybody on our current panel have any topics or questions that they'd like to ask?
I would like to ask Nurk at the DRL race in Phoenix with that platform where you had spectators. I was there, and man, I lost my voice because I was screaming so loud. I hope they do that again. For anybody that hasn't gone to see a race like that, it was awesome, dude. I even bought my daughter a Nurk t-shirt. I was going to put it up for you. I was like 2 sizes too small. My belly would hang out.
I appreciate that so much. The Chase Field event was unreal. Like it for those 24 hours, like for the 12 of us nerds to kind of like feel like rock stars for a minute was unreal. I mean, like you were there, you saw all 4,500 people there, like that. I mean, that first race between me and Fluxy, where we were going back and forth, like he passed me, I passed him, but back and forth. Like, I mean, every single pass, I could hear the whole crowd just like erupt every single moment along the way. And like that to me is like, this is the future. This is, we say all the time that drone racing can and should be the sport of the future, but I would say that to some degree we kind of give that a little bit of lip service, but like that night I believed it, and you can bet your ass that it's not the last live event. I can't tell you more details, but keep your eyes.
I definitely, when it comes, you guys get to see it, and you could even like they would have it on your phone where you could put like who was coming in first and second, and then you would cultivate points, and then they were giving away prizes. Yep. So it was interactive with us, and dude, yeah, it was awesome, man. They were flying over the top of our heads through the nets, dude. It's like it was so exciting. It was so exciting.
Could y'all ride along?
There was chosen a little group of kids, or if you were chosen to do it, they had just like I think 4 or 5 sets. I'm not sure of goggles.
Yeah. So the drones broadcast on off-band frequencies that we get pre-approved by the FCC. Okay. That's not to like prevent other people from watching, but it's to suit the RF environment that we're in. Yep. So like typically like a 2.0 gigahertz, for example, might work better than a 4.0 or a 5.8 or whatever like that. So like typical consumer off-the-shelf stuff doesn't typically work with the drones, but there are 25-ish cameras throughout the entire course. About half of them are manned cameras, so we're talking like broadcast level, like where you're thinking about like half the guys that we bring in to man those cameras, they shoot golf. Like they go to like PGA tours, and they're so used to chasing the balls through the air that they can chase the drones through the air. And so we bring in this whole crew, and then that's all piped back to 2 full-size broadcast trucks, like would be at an NFL event, and then pipe that all back into a jumbotron. So you can't ride along with your goggles, but there's we took the entire jumbotron in Chase Field, and you could see the live cut of what's going on in the race. And to me, I think that's more compelling than riding along.
Yeah, because with that, I wasn't even thinking about flying with doing a ride along.
Yeah,
because you could see these guys chasing each other. You saw every minute of the race. They were never out of sight. And, man, they were mixing it up, dude. It was awesome. And I enjoyed that probably more than I would a ride in the goggles. Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, we did. That's a good point. They designed the course so that it's all in front of the audience. So, like, no matter where you look, awesome. You can see what's going on with the drones.
Dude, I wish more people could have seen that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I want to jump in with a question here. Did anybody see the guy that did the hole-in-one golf ball chase? Did you guys see that? That was freaking amazing.
What was that?
All right, so there's it's TBS reposted it. I don't know who the original pilot was, but this guy, whoever it was, I say guy, I don't know if it was. So he comes in. It's a left-handed golfer. And this guy comes in and he flies just as he's about to pass the golfer. The golfer swings, impacts the ball. This guy follows the ball through the air. Okay. And he's pitching down to follow it, and like for a second you kind of lose sight of it, and then as soon as
I remember this video.
yeah, as soon as the ball has the background of the trees, like all of a sudden, boom, you see the ball, and he follows it down to the flag.
Awesome.
Apparently, it was a hole-in-one shot, but he did not catch the hole. But it was a phenomenal shot, and I just sat there and watched it over and over again. I was like, robots can't do this yet. Robots cannot do this yet. We'll maybe in the future, but it was a really awesome shot.
Insane.
Yeah.
And hey, Mike, I wanted to your interview with Skadoosh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I really, really enjoyed that. That was like there was a lot of like personal meaning to it, and I want to thank you for sharing that.
Hey,
it was a really cool video.
You're more than welcome, buddy.
Nice.
You're more than welcome. All right. Well, I think y'all, it's been 2 hours, 9 minutes. It is it's like 12. It's
really
like what,
quick.
Bruce, what time is it for you?
8 o'clock.
It is now 4 in the afternoon. I'm still trying to get the mud out of my out of my drone. It's terrible. That stuff's sticky, man. God, it's everywhere. Terrible. I might just call it the mud drone.
There you go. All right. Well, I think if y'all are good, I think let's end it on this. This was fun. I really appreciate having y'all on.
It's a cool format.
You know what? I was like,
yes, both just to listen and to participate. It was all. It's both great. Yeah,
a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Bruce, I will say, check your email.
Yeah, I've been like, I saw you.
I know,
on Facebook.
man.
I've been trying to get back. I've just
You're
been
good.
no end of trouble. You know, all these celebrity appearances when you're a top YouTuber. You know, it's like Michael. You know, you're in the same position yourself.
Look, man, we are balling with the YouTube 10s. The YouTube 10s, baby.
I got to get in on that. I'm still trying to figure that out.
All right, y'all.
Actually, that brings up an interesting point.
Yeah, go ahead.
For the people that are like full-time like content producers, they're kind of in the same boat as like content producers, not meaning necessarily just YouTube, but like people that go out and film or whatever. They are in the same kind of boat as the service industry, where we can't travel to go film new things or get new content or stuff. So you know, as consumers, for everybody that's watching the stream, consider supporting, you know, guys like Bruce and Michael and all these guys that are kind of working hard to put out content for you during this time where we can't necessarily get out and go do stuff. So yeah, hit those affiliate links, subscribe to those channels, all that stuff. Yeah.
And hey, listen, if it comes down to me, Bruce, or Nurk, don't choose me.
I promise.
Straight up.
PewDiePie.
Straight up.
Choose PewDiePie. He's the man.
Right. 100% PewDiePie. Or Justin Bieber.
What was the one that beat PewDiePie? I can't remember the name.
The Indian crowd. Was it Indian or Korean?
It was Indian.
I thought it was Korean. Was it
TN
Indian?
Network or something, wasn't it?
Yeah,
that's what it was.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's what it was.
They need the money.
Well, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I have a feeling we will do these more often. This was fun.
Yeah, it's a really good format. It's really neat. And thanks for having me on too, Mike.
Hey man, thank you for being here. Yeah. It's awesome. It's all, you know, it's all about connecting people. It's fun just to be able to, like, you know, did you think you were going to get to talk to Bruce and Nurk tonight?
I had no idea.
I didn't know they were coming on. I mean, the only thing better than Nurk would have been Vanover. I mean, just
I had to make friends and influence people, right?
I love you, Nurk.
It's all good. It's all good.
No, man, I just got to give you a hard
I
time.
can go get him in here if you want. I mean, his mom's over there in the bedroom, so.
Oh, shots fired.
Yep.
I love you, Kathy.
I think something just got started.
Oh, man. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have created the drama that is the Michael Rollins Show. And with that, we will leave you. Y'all have a great night. Bye.
Peace out, guys.